You might remember in the pages of the gospel, people often came to Jesus to have requests of him. They come and say, I would like to see. Let me walk. My daughter's sick. Please come and see her. Even his mother at Cana says they have no wine. And so Jesus was used to having requests made of him, and we read often in the pages that he responded very generously to those requests. In the first reading from Sunday's Gospel, we have a different situation. Book of Kings, King Solomon. King Solomon was the third of the kings of the Israelite nations after King Saul and David, and he was third. And so he inherited a vast country with a vast population. So God comes to Solomon one day and says to him, Solomon, among all the things that you would like to have, what can you ask of me? And Solomon, looking around and seeing the job that he had, the very difficult job that he had been given, he said to God, God, I would like to have an understanding heart. I would like to have an understanding heart so that I could judge between right and wrong for all these people that you've given me to be the king of. And so God was so happy with that response, he says to Solomon, Solomon, because you've asked for an understanding heart and not for a lot of wealth or power or great armies or nations, he says, you're going to be given an understanding heart so the people will talk about you forever, about how wise you are. And so the wisdom of Solomon is something that we talk about even today, because that's what Solomon asked for. Then in the gospel, we have this beautiful story about the treasure in the field. Treasure in the field, the guy comes by and he sees some kind of treasure there. He says, wow, I got to have that treasure. I'm going to go get rid of whatever I have to, sell whatever I have to, and buy that field. So he does that. I think the lesson for me and for you, if I could simply put it, is, the treasure in the field, as Jesus says, was the kingdom of God, the presence of God. So in order to really grasp that treasure, we sometimes have to get rid of things. Not money, but we have to get rid of our prejudices. We have to get rid of our angers. We have to get rid of our impatiences. We have to get rid of those things that keep us from understanding that God is right there with us. And so the invitation to really grow in that understanding, that appreciation of the presence of God. So I wish all of you, I wish all of us the gift of an understanding heart that might enable us to see God present in places that we never saw God before.